Gerry wants the show to just be one big party. I wanted to strike a balance between having this epic show, but at the same time keep a great degree of focus upon him. I wanted to do something based around one shape. So I sit with a sketch pad. So we've got paper lying around the house and Sharpies and pencils, and just if something daft comes into my head, that's where it comes from, is just a quick sketch. And I somehow landed on a hexagon, and I looked at it and I thought it was a pretty cool shape. I could take the angles of the hexagon and I could create the floor pack into a hexagon. I could make my trusses hexagonal.
A lot of the things that he'd drawn, he hadn't actually seen before we actually built, and we were able to visualise it all upstairs. So Simon was physically able to take the CADs and in Fusion render up the hexagons so that Pete could see exactly how they would look before we went down the road of building them.
The hexagons are quite complex to put together. Simon in Adlib, he came up with this brilliant dolly system whereby we can split them in two, and they'll fit in the back of a truck no problem. So they fit too wide in a truck, which is really important to not take up loads of truck space. It's also meant that for the guys putting them together every day, it's been a 15-minute job rather than a 2-3 hour job, which was brilliant. I want to strike a balance between, keeping the focus on Gerry, but also creating this kind of grand show at the same time. So I decided that I wanted to do something a bit different, so that's where the kinesis element comes from. So on some of his songs, I wanted to bring the whole rig down to kind of make the show feel smaller, that then when the song kicks off, that it could expand with him. So one of the challenges that we noticed quite quickly was with the hexagons tilting. The camsons that we're using, the Ayrton fixtures, they're really quite heavy. As the trusses would come down, we were quite worried that they would slip. Some of the guys in the warehouse had seen a bit of technology from Doughty, a clamp that allows the camsons to stay at a static angle, and that solved that problem immediately.
The good thing about Pete is he has a really clear vision of what he wants to achieve in the first instance. So the benefit we had was being able to sit with him and spend time discussing how to make that happen. A lot of what I did was facilitate getting Pete in front of the relevant people here and allowing him to spend the time, particularly in pre-visualisation and planning, so that he can take on a lot more of the production management responsibilities.
In this tour in particular, it was great that we did it on WYSIWYG because I pre-programmed the whole thing, so when we rocked up in Ireland and Belfast for our pre-production day, it was plug the USB into the desk and the whole show worked perfectly. There were no adjustments needed at all.
When we hit the first arena shows, Pete wasn't really worrying about having to program everything and how everything was going to look, which allowed him to concentrate on more of the production management elements and the advancing, which he kind of had a big hand in for the tour.
So Pete controls everything from the show. We've got a Grande May 3 full size and a Grande May light at front of house, controlling all lights, all video. Then Rob, behind the stage in Video World, has another Grande May 3 light, which he cuts all the cameras for, can change any of the content, which is then all connected to D3.
The main driving force for video on this tour is the Disguise GX2C servers that we've got. They control quite a lot of the video elements. All of our camera feeds run into the Disguise. There's no other switching, it's all done through Disguise. Cameras are Marshall lipstick cameras, we've got Marshall POV cameras, and we've got some Panasonic PTZs, as well as a Sony HXC100 at front of house with a UJ90 box lens for this show. We have the Rowe Vanish 8. Everything runs with the Vanish 8, which has its blanking panels in for this show.
Also we have BPM, who are supplying all the SFX for the show, which is all sessioned in, so we can all talk to each other, but mainly Pete has full control. All that is connected to 3 MPUs. It is quite a substantial rig. It means that while Pete's running the show, I'm at front of house. Anything that needs to change during the show, I'm there that I can change any of that. The same way for video, if they need to make any changes, they can come see us at front of house, log into their user and make any changes to the screen live time with Pete at front of house, so we can always see what the show's going to look like.
For me in particular, I'm one guy. I'm not part of a design studio. One of the things that appealed to me with Adlib in particular was that they're a team that you can bounce ideas off of. You can send them something daft and say, is this achievable? And they'll come back and say, yes. I wanted to deal with people that would treat me as just a human. And they totally get that I'm just myself, and they provide all the support that I need, which is why I've been totally happy to stick with Adlib through all of it.